What a wonderful, wonderful word. And what a way to begin our show this morning. Indeed. And of course, for so many years, for years, I mean, many industries have been seen as men's territory, from construction to aviation, engineering to aviation. It's been male-dominated. Thelma.
Patience, you can't be more right, indeed. But it's obvious that times have changed. The barriers have been broken. You now have the script being rewritten, and in some cases, the roles are being reversed. We see women being celebrated in hitherto male-dominated areas and vice versa.
Oh yes, and we'll continue to dominate. And that's why today on the show, we are shining our light, and I must add, very strong light on incredible women who have proven that and continue to prove that. I mean, talent is not gender sensitive. It is your favorite weekend show, Weekend Deal, coming to you from the network service of the NTA. I am Patience Eloyi Abba.
Always great to ride this rodeo with you, Patience. My name is Thelma Obaza. Join us today on the show as we showcase those exemplary and exceptional Nigerian women who are doing us proud in amazing ways, talking about their professions and their endeavorial pursuits. We don't have all the numbers, but perhaps you do. Be a part of the show today. You know how we do. Let's do it together.
Sarah, whatever will be. The future is not for me to tell. Sarah, honestly, whatever will be, will be. But the women are not listening to that. They are taking the bull by the horn. And that's why the number of women going into male-dominated fields continue to increase. They are not only going there, but they are going there with their A game and conquering and leading the pack. And that's where our conversation begins today with a backgrounder by Frances Ogbe.
In Nigeria, the landscape of employment is evolving, with more women venturing into extreme jobs, occupations that are physically demanding, high risk, or traditionally male-dominated.
You can classify maybe a woman flying an aeroplane, women who are involved in construction, women who drive trucks, or women who drive taxis. So these are some of the jobs you may classify as. When you also see people who are coming to carry refuge, and you see that all these sewage or solid waste people, and you see a woman there working with them, sitting there, see it's an extreme job.
Aderonke Kale became Nigeria's first female major general in the Nigerian army, breaking military stereotypes. Similarly, Captain Chinyere Kalu made history as Nigeria's first female commercial pilot, inspiring young women to pursue careers in aviation.
The other day I was watching, I think on WhatsApp, a video, a woman that drove, that was on a 20-ton container, drove it into the market and people were hailing her. So it was a very young girl. She looks good, when I have good hair, the hair was nicely done. So people were hailing her, people were thrilled that a young girl of that nature is driving such a big truck. And when you enter a taxi, when you see a woman driving a taxi, which is common but not very common, you want to be nicer to her, and or you see a woman now driving a taxi, not just within Abuja, but one that is going to maybe Lokoja or Kaduna, going out of town, even going to the east, which has been dominated by men.
A major challenge for women in extreme jobs is balancing their demanding careers with personal and family life. Motherhood in particular presents unique hurdles, as these jobs often require long hours, unpredictable schedules, and high-risk exposure.
People talk about the marital status. Is she married? If she's married, how is she coping? You know, we live in a society where marital status of a woman matters a lot. It gives some people cause for concern, even if just for gossip, you know. But the person in question may not really be bothered. That's not what is. Her own is, I'm being productive. I'm making money to keep body and soul together. I'm even using, not just beyond making putting body and soul together, making money to live a thriving life. When you have young kids, you need to take care of them. When you have kids, that means it requires that you need to be closer to them, and maybe being at home all the time, you know, or being nearer home. And you're doing these jobs that takes you out of town, it can be a challenge. Maybe you have a husband who is very understanding, who will want to cover up for you, or get a nanny, provide, or you bring your mother to come and stay, babysit.
The rise of Nigerian women in extreme jobs is a testament to resilience, determination, and changing societal norms. While challenges remain, ranging from workplace discrimination to work-life balance struggles, these trailblazers continue to inspire future generations.
Women have always been the pillars of the society. You go to churches, they are there. You go to schools, they are there. You go to market, they are there. So women always help to make a society resilient. If you look at the small units where they find themselves, the home, the church, the community, there are that strength that will always be there trying to support.
By fostering a more inclusive environment, encouraging policy reforms, and challenging cultural biases, Nigeria can fully embrace gender diversity in all professions.
Great of you, Francis, to walk into Weekend Deal as you often do and celebrate and highlight achievements of amazing women. And you know, Patience, such a warm feeling when you see, in fact, that guest, the person that Francis spoke to, was just celebrating women.
Dr. Joachim, always celebrating women and also contributing to Weekend Deal.
Indeed, indeed. And you know, it takes courage to set the tone. And I know some time ago, Uju told us about the first female pilot. I think it was Chinyere Kalu or so.
Yes,
She got a license in 1981. But today, Uju is talking about another group of women, not pilots this time, talking about mechanical and electrical engineers who are having a niche for themselves in male-dominated areas. That's hitherto, but now women are there. Uju, what did you find? You did the work.
Meet the women who dare to defy convention, operating in the extremities of a male-dominated environment, daring to do and daring to win, from the scorching heat of firefighting to the messy fingers and tough and harsh environments of rolling screws, tightening knots, and messy body. What inspires their drive?
When I was young, I liked to fix things. Stabilizer, spoil at home. I used to be the one to like scatter it. I just want to know what makes it work. What did they do that makes it work? So before you know, I carry my screwdriver, start losing, trying to know what's inside that stuff. And funny enough, lucky for me, my dad is also a mechanic.
I think around 11 years of age, I used to buy things like toys when I take it home. 2-3 days, something is scattered. I find it loose or scattered. So most of the time, if I ask, they'll tell me that Glory is the one that loses it, So one day, with anger, I said, do you want to go to workshop? Will you lose that? Do you want to be losing and tightening? He said, yes. When she said yes, it was out of anger, trying to like stop her from what she was doing. I now took her to workshops.
As punishment?
They never knew my workshop before. They've never been to my shop once. They don't even know what to do, what I used to do. So I took her there. Then we started, losing and start tightening. Sometimes there would be maybe some little hazard. She'll get wound. I feel maybe she won't come back the next day. The next day I'll see her. So I see like maybe that's a part. So then I started encouraging her doing it.
And it wasn't the end of it.
Since when I was small, I always have passion for men's work. Yeah, I have passion for men's work. I've never done anything relating to women's work like hairdressing, tailoring. I find it most easy. So I prefer this engineering work.
While growing up, I'm someone that loves working with my hand, fixing things. And so that was actually the origin of me looking into the so-called men's field of men's work. When I was given the task to install a Boeing 737 Classic engine, it was daring for me because even at my level, so many of the male, it wasn't something so many of the males could handle. And so I went in with, okay, I wouldn't say total confidence, but with, okay, God, please help me, and put in my best, and it came out well.
See what you did, my other car park here now, wait there. You won't call like it.
You need to work, at work, you go back home, you continue. Strength, but we women, we are very, very strong, and we are very, very, we are very resilient, and so God has given us this gift that we are able to handle much more, and so it's because I love the job, so it's easier for me. I don't see the stress, I don't see the trouble that comes with it. I go to work, face my job, get back home, I enter the kitchen, I give my children, my family, the food that they need, what they need. In fact, and also I even love to cook. And so I do that, I get back to work, and I put in my best too. So for me, it's been good.
I'm actually looking out to learn this work, also further my education, because I want to be a great person in life. And I know with help of my organ and help of this work, at least I'll go a little bit far. Marriage or having any children won't stop me from doing this work because I so much love it.
I mean, whatever a man can do, a woman can do even greater. And the thing about it is that when a woman decides to go into a male-dominated field, she proves herself, her nurturing, her caring attributes, she brings it all to the field. And that's one thing men don't have. For example, if a woman is a pilot, she comes in with extra. Men come in with their technical know-how and their strength, but women, we come in with the love, with the tears, with the... Should I go on? Let me not go on because our guests are here. And we are excited because these are women who are doing things that, you know, let me just say we are proud of. And it's an honor to introduce our first guest. She's a lady of the skies. She's flying. She is piloting Nigerians to their destination. And she is Captain Benita. Her name is Babe, but the spelling is Babe. So allow me to call her Babe. Babe Ndoms. Let's see her profile.
With the steers.
What?
Benita Babe.
Yeah.
I was just telling Patience some seconds ago that good a thing that I learned how to pilot, you know, like helicopter and the rest. I'm going to be taking over big jets. Oh, Benita, please. I can't wait till we fly together, man. So I'll co-pilot we celebrate you. Welcome to Weekend Deal. And I know that she's already inspiring millions of women, but we're not done yet. We are not done. You can be sure that we are not done. We have the phase 2. Another lady, very young. She's walked in this morning looking amazing. And if you know, we're talking about technical know-how, talking about ICT, talking about bringing knowledge, innovation, creativity, you are talking about her. Well, that's the one and only Tosin Kolade, a 3D animator and a GIS analyst. Her profile is next. Woo.
Hey, you're welcome to Weekend Deal.
Thank you.
Oh, it's so good to have both of you here. I wish you were here when these things are playing, the kind of things we do when these things are playing. I mean, we're celebrating these girls, these babes, I mean, making us proud. Then I'll start with Benita. Benita. Okay, I don't see. There's so many questions running in my head, so I don't even know. First question is like, how do you get time to look so good when you do that? But at what point in your life do you think that of all the normal things people are doing on the ground, of all the so many things you can do sitting in a normal office and feel safe, why did you decide to fly in the skies?
Actually, I decided to become a pilot when I was about 6, 7. I was still very young, yes. My dad, if I'll go there, is a retired sailor. Yes, so right now he's a ship owner, but he was always on the move. He was hardly ever really around. So because of that, he was always going to the airport and I was always going with him, and we had to leave close to the airport most times. This was in Port Harcourt, between Port Harcourt and Calabar. So I remember he said there was a particular day when and I'm daddy's girl. So there was a particular day when I followed him to the airport, and he noticed that every time an aircraft takes off, I would come out and literally stand there and look up in the sky, smiling. So he decided to take me to the airport that day. And when we got there, the first thing I said was, Daddy, I really want to, do this. I really want to fly that plane.
At that age?
At that age. And then he told my mom. My mom was a bit worried at the time, but when she noticed that I continued and I never, left that path, she decided to support me as well. And then what happened was, he apparently wanted to be a pilot, but he couldn't make it to flying school. So he had to go for sailing, which was the next best thing, according to him. So when I told him I wanted to be a pilot, he was very, very amazed. He was so happy, and he decided to, to help me through that part. He decided to support me. My parents supported me. They pushed me. While I was in secondary school, I knew in my head, this is what I want to do. So I focused on science. I pushed myself. I made sure that, I did my part, because I had parents who really wanted to support me through the journey. And after school, I did another course, and then he asked me, and he said, where do you want to fly? And I said, well, right now, since I was still really young, I was 17, and then he said, would you rather fly in Nigeria, or go outside the country? I don't mind. I can do anything right now to support you through this dream, because it is really rare for a girl to say they want to fly and continue on that path all the way from when I was 6 till when I was 17. So at 17, he decided to push me, and I went to Zaria. I did the training.
That's the aviation school?
The aviation school in Zaria. That was the first school I went to. I did the training. It took about 2 years. I finished, and then I went to Florida 2 years after that. Basically, I became a pilot at 20, a commercial pilot at 20. Wow. It is something that...
Oh, you're just like me. The same. I was just 21. The same.
Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff.
Nice.
I'm just really happy that I had the parents, that I have, who supported me through everything. It wouldn't have been easy, especially as a girl, if I didn't have the support. Because it's one thing to want to be something different, and it's another thing to have the support
you need.
Exactly. If you don't have that support, it's really something that can affect you along the line. But because I had parents and my siblings who were really supportive of me.
Are you at the bottom or you're at the top?
I'm actually the third. I have 2 sisters ahead of me, and then a brother. Okay. My brother is a sailor as well.
Wow.
So
your younger brother?
Yeah, my younger brother.
So he's working with daddy now?
Yes.
Okay. Very interesting story. I know we got to learn more, because I want to know what it felt like the first time you actually
flew the plane.
Yes,
just like we know.
Yeah, when you first, there's a feeling that, in fact, you can't put into words. But let's hear from our 3D animator. Hey, Tosin.
Hi.
How you doing, girl? We are flying now. We are on Barbie's jets right now, so let's not lower the momentum.
Okay,
when we're talking 3D, are we looking at the skies, we're looking at clouds, We know 5D, 3D, we're always hearing them interchangeably. What is exceptional about 3D? You're an animator. How did you dovetail into that part?
Oh, okay, 3D animation is a more realistic form of animation as compared to 2D. Okay, an example of 2D animation is like Tom and Jerry and the likes. But with 3D, you have the ability to make it more real, where you can create realistic environments and characters. Or I would use, for example, cartoons like Kung Fu Panda. You can see the reality in it. You can't compare to Tom and Jerry, Mulan, and the likes.
Yeah.
So
we're raising the bar.
Yes.
3D is a lift up.
Yeah. It is actually, and it is more tedious than 2D. So my journey, basically, I got into animation because it was a childhood dream. Yes, so I don't know, I've always loved cartoons. My mom told me when I was 3, whenever there's a cartoon playing, I was always in front of the TV. That was it for me. But then I when I told my dad that I wanted to go into this line, he was like, he's not really seeing any future in it because there is nobody that can mentor me in that part. Like, how am I going to navigate my way? And this was like the late 90s / early 20s. I was really young that time. And I'm like, okay, how am I going to, or who do I talk to? Where do I get the education from? And that's when they started filling my head with, okay, go into medicine and stuff, and then I thought of doing the sciences. But then what helped me was my primary school, where I was seated in the midst of boys, a lot of boys, and they drew a lot. So that thing caught my attention. I was always quiet watching their drawings. Sometimes I would ask them to give me a page from their book, and then I'll take it home and replicate it. So that's when I noticed that, okay, this thing is in-depth, I can actually do this. But then at the long run, it wasn't easy because, like I said, no mentor. I didn't know how to go about it. So I was like, okay, let's do the whole medicine thing. I finished school, tried to get admission. You know how it is, or how it was then. It was difficult. So my mom was like, okay, since you can draw, why not do architecture? Since it's kind of close. And then, you know, parents of that time, it has to be professional. If you're not a doctor, you're an architect or an engineer.
Lawyer.
Exactly. So I was like, okay, no problem. But then I applied for architecture. I didn't get it, and I was given surveying and geoinformatics in the same school, like twice. Admission came twice, and that was the same thing. And I was like, okay, let me go ahead. So this was where the whole idea of being a GIS analyst came from. Wow. Because surveying and geoinformatics, the geoinformatics aspect is where we run geospatial analysis. This includes like getting information from the Earth, using coordinates to analyze data to get certain results. It could be for weather, it could be for climate sustainability, for monitoring disaster, or even predicting disaster.
Impressive.
It is. So that
Do you
was...
have many of your type in Nigeria?
Yes, they are.
So they are doing all this work?
Yes, yes. For example, NASDAR and Obasanjo Space Research, they have a lot of them in that line. Yes, so that part of surveying and geoinformatics was intriguing for me. And then I decided, okay, let me major in this aspect. So after school, I ran some researches related to GIS analysis. So I was doing that, and then some jobs were coming here and then. But then I had this friend, we were talking sometime, and then we were talking about our passions and then what I can do. And then I told him about my passion for animation. It was a childhood dream. And this, I was about going for service that year. And then he was like, okay, let's do this. I would give you a letter to submit to NYSC for a placement for primary placement of assignment. And then you would work with me, but what you'll be doing is you're going to learn animation. That was huge for me.
He was already animating?
No, he was. He had a tech hub where I could have access to their utilities like lights and computers and the like. So he was like, yes. So he was like, okay, you would learn. And then I submitted the letter, and thank God NYSC approved. And then I was learning on my own. So it wasn't easy because I was self-taught. This was 2022. My journey started literally 3 years ago. I didn't know anything about animation before then. And then that was it. I was stuck on YouTube, watching videos, looking for free courses. And it wasn't easy because I'm the oldest child. I'm the oldest of 3 girls. And then my mom would just see me at home, like with the laptop. I'm trying to model a 3D donut or coffee. And then she's like, what are you doing? Every day you are making donuts and stuff. You're like your mates.
What people really want that they can't eat?
Yes. Animation. And then she was like, what are you doing? And I was like, it wasn't easy for me because my mates had already gone ahead and stuff because I had late admission and all of that. But then later, when I started getting jobs and all, she saw the result and she was like, telling my younger ones they should look up to me. But it wasn't easy that period.
But we've come to learn really, Tosin, that anything that will be result-oriented and that will be long-lasting has
never been easy.
You guys are blazing trails.
Trailblazers.
Anyway, we're still on the L.
Yes.
Patience, we're on the L.
Yes. So let's come here, Benita. Amazing stories. A lot of us are getting inspired, even at our old age. Okay. Tell me, like Thelma said, how did you feel the first time?
First time I flew.
You flew. Because even as a passenger, I'll hold a person next to me. Take off, I'm holding you. So how was that for you?
Well, I remember the first time very well because, like I said, I went to Zaria. And I remember that day, we were about 20 of us at the time, but just 3 girls, four ladies. So we were called and we were told, oh, this is going to be your first time on the plane. And you have to, sit in the cockpit and do all of that. We had instructors, obviously, so it was myself and my instructor and one person behind me. I remember it was a boy sitting behind. So I remember us taxiing, and he showed us how to taxi and do all of that, take the aircraft to the runway. And he said, okay, it's time for takeoff. I remember being so excited that I was so excited. I started laughing. I literally started laughing. And then my instructor had to pause, and he said, is everything okay? Why are you laughing?
Why are you laughing?
And I said, no, I'm just so excited. And he said, most people usually cry at this point, but you're laughing. And I said, well, sometimes I think when I'm nervous,
you laugh.
I laugh a lot. So, but this point in time, it's more about excitement. And then he said, okay, get ready. So we took off, and the boy that was sitting behind me said, he told everyone to go with a paper bag, because most times people throw up.
You get nauseous.
Yes, you get nauseous. So we took off, and the boy seated behind me, David, he said, David Sung, he said, oh my God, I'm going to throw up. And then he literally started throwing up. So my instructor kept looking at me, waiting for me to throw up. And I was just looking around. I was looking here, looking there. And he said, what kind of person are you? And I said, I'm just excited. I've been excited to be a pilot since I was 6.
Oh my goodness.
I don't think I want to throw up on my first flight.
Wow.
So, and then he just laughed and he said, you're a very different person.
Oh,
it was amazing. And we had a very good time, up there. We came down and we debriefed. And after that, we started our
So did you
training.
hold the controls?
Yes,
that
of
first
course,
time?
yes. When,
okay, but he took you in the air.
Yes, when
then
during the takeoff, you're actually needed to hold the controls so you can have a feel of what it's like. So while he was actually in control, he just had me hold the control column so I can have a
But then
feel.
were you still laughing?
No, when he asked me to hold the control column, I knew this was serious business, so there was no more laughter. And then we have to watch the airspeed, because we use our airspeed to take off. So he said, watch the airspeed and hold the control column. So I kept watching, and when we had to take off at 65 knots. So when we got to 65 knots, he literally briefed me on what to do. So he said when the airspeed comes alive at 40 knots, you have to say airspeed alive. So that's like a confirmation that you and your captain or you and your fellow pilots are in sync. So when you say airspeed alive, he checks because he's the one who's flying. So he literally has to check and then go back to his flying. So he checked, he confirmed, and he went back. So at 60 knots, I'll literally say 60 knots. He'll say check. So at 65, I said rotate, which is our rotation speed. So at that point in time, there was no more laughter, there was no more smiling, this was just serious business. So when he took off, I felt the controls, and when he lifted up, it felt like my spirit had left my body, because there was this initial feeling of when he took off, it felt like, oh my God, this is not me in the passenger seat anymore. This is actually me in the cockpit. So for a split second, it felt like my spirit left my body and then came back. And the first thing I said was, wow. And he said, now you are in business.
Good one, good one. Amazing. We need to say a big thank you to Chinyere Kalu, who opened the door, or who entered the cockpit as far back as 1981 and told Nigerian women, I got you. Please keep coming. We got you, and we are able to do this and do it even better. Absolutely. I have no doubt I will step into Benita's jet one day soon. But while we're getting ready, let's go to Yanagwa in Bayelsa State, where the focus still is on women in male hitherto. Now, the roles have been reversed, the script is being rewritten. So there's no male, female, we are all together, all one, pushing forward for progress and growth. Bayelsa, take it from here.
In time past, women were relegated to the back in various professions and fields of endeavors. This killed the drive of many women globally and established a sense of rejection. But thanks to continued advocacy and global enlightenment, women have slowly gotten their confidence and passion back to pursue their dreams, learn new skills, and excel in their chosen career without limitations. In Bayelsa State, an amazing lady making waves in the welding profession, predominantly seen as the exclusive of the male, shares her challenges and successes.
I've been into welding for 12 to 14 years now. I was inspired by the creativity in welding. As a child, while I was in school, my father used to have a tenant that is a welder. I just like the fact that you can turn any stain into something beautiful. In welding, you can turn a straight pipe into becoming something extraordinary. That is what really inspired me into welding. And as a woman, there are some limits to what you can do. But the fact that I love what I do, and that's love alone is keeping me in welding.
Okay, in the course of your job, what are the challenges you made, and how are you able to surmount?
I've not been able to surmount them completely, but challenges are, one, power is a very big challenge for us, but and the cost of everything now is a big challenge for us. If there's finance in my job now, it will make things easier. There are some good machines I want to buy. Because there are no cash, we are just managing with the local ones we have. So technology has made it easy, and it has made it easy for us to also market our business. I've trained quite some few persons, both male and female, but for women I think just 3, because they are not coming forth. But I also want to use this opportunity to encourage our young girls in Bayelsa that there's nothing that is as good as being skilled. Sincerely, welding is a profitable business, but just like every other job, it's not easy. If you put your mind into it, you can do it.
Oh yes, here is a typical day in the life of a female tricyclist, also known as keke driver, Miss Peace Domotimi Orukari.
When I first started riding tricycle, it wasn't easy. Even when I learned how to drive, I stayed for over 2 months. I was looking for tricycle to drive. Nobody wants to give me tricycle because I'm a woman. And God helped, I now saw one. Then I started driving with it. The way everything is going right now, price of fuel is high, and the business is somehow, but we still see our profits, the little one we can use to help ourselves for our daily needs. Although the challenges are much because the work is a male job, but we still manage to meet up. Most of the people that we carry, they love female driving. I encourage other ladies to come into the business. The business is good because it will surely give you a daily bread.
Breaking more barriers in perceived men's job is Maria Tekeme, a famous drummer with her unique drumming skills.
I started playing drum when I was 10 years, and nobody taught me how to play drum. I started from church. I started playing, these 2 local drums. From there, I started playing jazz drum. From then, that is how I started playing drum. Any lady or any female drummer, if you know you love playing drum, please play it with passion. I've been to 16 countries with this drum. Don't look as if maybe it's because it's drum. There is money in this business.
Dogged and determined, it is clear that women are effectively combining the home front and their career and making impact in societal development.
Okay, see how we tell you that enjoying our conversation, and you do. We don't take it for granted. And we've told you repeatedly on the show that we are only here because you're there. Trust me when I say we truly love you. I will just take some of your messages. And now, somebody said, good morning. Nigeria is great to have such women in Nigeria. Oh, my daughters are coming soon. You didn't tell us your name. This is from Cross River State. Another one says, it is very important to pay attention to your kids, to know what they love doing, and try pushing them into becoming a better version of themselves. Kanadi Samaila from Bronu, Sokoto. Thank you, Mrs. Samaila. Okay, I'm testing from NIPSS Kurujas. Hitting the queens in the studio. So proud of you both. I want to give you both a big hug. Lydia Ochi, Lydia, we love you. Thank you for watching. Thank you. Yes, our sister doing us proud there in Jazz. Whoa, Benita is so beautiful. May God be with her throughout her endeavors in life. She is beautiful indeed. Okay, so where are you reaching us from? Let us know. Okay. Oh, good morning, weekend dealers. Honestly, people are great from Meduguri. Tell us your name. We love you. Thank you so much. Okay, let's get to our conversation. More messages are coming in. Now, let's talk Tosin. Now, we know that animation is big business in Hollywood.
Yes, it is.
Billions and billions of dollars.
You
I
can
mean,
say
they are
that.
breaking box office and all.
Yes.
In Nigeria, where are we with animation?
Okay, what I can say is...
Or 3D, yeah.
Yes. I would say animation as a whole.
Yeah.
I would say we're getting there.
Okay.
But we're not there yet. There's still so much because there are a lot of restrictions we have. For example, the fact that there are no more skilled people in the business, and then even acquiring the gadgets that you need to build is a hassle because the computers you would use, like just for basic stuff, we're talking of millions of naira. And then it's not something everyone can easily have access to. Like when I started with they call it a potato laptop, in the sense that it's very basic. It's a laptop that you would just use is it good enough for typing and browsing, but not for graphics. Like a graphic designer would not use it, but I didn't let that stop me because it was from there I was able to build or create the first image files and animation that got me traction on LinkedIn. So that was where I started from. So I didn't wait till I would have an expensive gadget to push. I had to use what I had.
Yeah, so
at that
start
point.
where you are.
Yeah,
exactly.
Humble beginnings indeed.
That's just it.
You know, Tosin, I don't envy you on one hand. On the other hand, I also envy you. I envy you for having the courage at a young age to blaze an uncommon trail. But I don't envy you on the other side that you are going to have the uphill task to groom the next generation. It's your job now and a few others of your ilk to make it easier for those coming behind you. Especially women. So that they can do this comfortably and earn. We want more women to support families. We want more women to be financially secure, to support their partners. So Tosin, we're rooting for you, right?
Thank you.
And trust us here. When we're rooting for you, it's not half, stop, start.
With all the way.
Okay, because I know that there's so much talk about private jets, Boeing 777s, Boeing, you know. From potato laptop, let us go to potato plates. Nowadays, we have amazing things in the air.
Yes.
Some small, some big. In fact, Nigeria boasts an amazing number of interesting flying machines. So from the time in Zaria, when you first started the controls and you went, wow, and somebody was throwing up there and it didn't happen with you, to now, how many of those amazing flying machines have this your precious fingers machinated in the air? And what are you looking for? What would you say, what would you want to touch to say, yes, Daddy, this is my dream come true? From the time I was 6, when I was waving at you in the air to now, this is what I dreamed of doing, and I'm near there, or I'm there, or I did it last week, in terms of the caliber of the flying machines you are touching.
Thank you so much. So after flight school in Zaria, I was lucky enough to go for my type rating on the 737, the Boeing 737. So that's actually the first aircraft that I got type rated on, that I was able to fly.
You know, the flying,
Yes,
people, we have a language. When you say, please break it down. When you say
when I say type rated, I'm so sorry. When I say type rated, I simply mean that's the first aircraft that I got my official training on. Yes. So I was privileged enough at the time to be able to train on the Boeing 737. That is one of the...
I like that word, Boeing.
Boeing.
I just feel like I'm already on the jet. Boeing.
That was one of the first aircrafts. That's actually the first aircraft that I was able to get my training on. I did that training in Miami, Florida. It took about a month, basically.
When you got there, how did they rate you? When you landed in Florida? No?
When I landed in Florida,
Yeah.
when I got to the flight school.
Yeah, what did they say?
When I got there, my training records had already been sent to the training facility. So when I got there, I remember meeting my instructor. His name is Andre. And then he said, "Oh, I've gotten your training records, and I believe this is your first official aircraft training type rating." And I said, "Yes." So he said, "Okay, we start with ground school." We did the ground school for about a week. And after a week, we had to go in for the flying. So after the ground school, thanks be to God, we did our part and we made it. When we went to the flying, the first question he asked me was, "Where did you do your training?" I remember that question. He said, "Benita, where did you do your training?" And I smiled. I smiled because I was proud, because I knew this is a question that comes after a good flight.
You're right.
And then I said, "Oh, I did it in Nigeria, in Zaria." I said, "You fly absolutely well."
Oh my goodness. Kudos to Flying School Zaria. Well done, Nigeria.
They also say well done to the instructors over there.
Yes, well done to the instructor. Zaria is an amazing place to train. It's not easy. It is not easy. We started 20 and we finished about 12. It's not easy, I'm not going to lie. But I'm so proud that out of the 12 of us that finished, all the females finished.
Give it up, ladies!
That's ladies for you.
Yes,
We're
Zaria,
tenacious. Yeah.
Exactly. Zaria is a difficult place, but it is a place that when you come out of, you would be so proud that you went to, because you would not be found wanting in any aspect of your career. Wow. Zaria is an amazing place to train. It's not easy, but it's an amazing place to train. So kudos to all the instructors there.
All right. Please, Mrs. Yakomi, allow me to take one. Someone said, "Tosin, the 3D animator, you're so beautiful."
Oh.
Please keep it up.
Beauty is it the fingers now or the brain? You have a beautiful brain, beautiful face, beautiful fingers.
Okay, somebody's sending a message directly to Benita. Benita, as a female pilot, how do you cope with the fear of plane crash and death? I am Pastor Nnamdi from Abia State. Wow.
Nnamdi. I was hoping we'll save that for the tail end of the conversation.
But
but
keep it in mind. You're going to react to that. So many messages are coming in. But I think there's a break we're coming in right now.
Okay.
We'll go on the break, right? We are going on the break. When we come back, our studio is hot and steaming. The young women are here, bringing on their A game. Don't go away.
It was quite engaging to hear parents patients say earlier about how women bring that extra. And it's not, it may seem like we're boasting or we're, hyping us, but it's true. Women, if she wants to even open a door, she will open it with steeze. By the time she has knowledge of flying, she's going to have a female co-pilot. And where is the Boeing? Is it 737, 707, 757? There is no jet she's not going to fly. She's going to fly it and fly more. In fact, we have female engineers now, female pilots, the 3D animator. We have the female broadcasters. What area have we not touched? Women, please, take 3 goza. We celebrate you. And nothing like young people to inspire us. Age is not a barrier. You won't say, I'm 50 now, or I'm 45, I can't learn. If you are interested, please, go get it started. It's never too late. If it's a dream, then you can accomplish it. But it's our string keys we want to talk to now. Earlier on he said, I don't want to get involved. But he's been so inspired by the conversation that he said, man, Thelma, patience, ask me. I want to talk. I know you are inspired, as we are, by what you're doing. You don't have daughters, you have sons. But how would you feel your sons bringing home amazing ladies like this sometime in the near future?
It's lovely seeing females, women, participating in what the men does. Professional and technical and other areas. I feel so good whenever I see them, participating in. Now, I wish I have a daughter. Definitely, the first thing my daughter will fall in love in learning is this musical instrument. She will definitely.
I like
And
that.
I will love seeing her doing it. But meanwhile, my two boys, they are doing well on this musical instrument.
Nice.
So it's lovely seeing women participating, being active in what men.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Dari.
So release something for us.
All right.
Would it be okay to do that? Patience?
Yeah.
I thought I could get some messages.
Okay,
let me just take some messages because they are
fine.
coming in their numbers. Somebody said, this program kept me at home today. Beautiful ladies with great minds. They are both inspiring. Please, is Tosin married? Okay, we'll leave that question hanging there where I go to the next one. Good morning, weekend dealers. Please don't see my request as something else. So please, can you please tell the ladies to call out their numbers because we can't see wedding rings on their hands. Thank you from Ondo State. Good morning, my lovely queens. You guys are doing great. I'm proud of you. Keep encouraging the young ones. Aishat Shaibu from Abuja. Thank you, Aishat. Good morning, presenters. It's heartwarming to see ladies break grounds in the so-called male-dominated professions. I just wish many young ladies would look up to these ones instead of engaging in prostitution. John Eket, Akwa Ibom State. Okay, well done, Benita. It's easy. Oh, is it easy to be on air? From Ifeanyi. Ifeanyi wants to know whether it's easy. Oh, God, I love to be a female footballer. Victory from Abuja. Thelma will talk to you about that. Thelma is a sport enthusiast. I leave that to Thelma. Honestly, Thelma will talk to you.
When Osime comes.
I'm feeling so inspired. Thank you, Christiana from Abuja. Good morning, beautiful women. Skills are very important. Nigeria is blessed. So what a man can do, a woman can do better. Parents should allow their children's dream come true. Benita, beautiful pilot. This is from Mrs. Rita Ezelike from Kwara State. Good morning. Well, I'm so proud of you too. Please keep doing the good work. Like I always say, we women are the best in whatever we put our heart to. My girls are happy and they are small. And the smallest says she wants to fly because of Benita. Oh, Sonia from Lokoja. Good morning, great professional women. I am very proud of you. Please, how will I go about enlisting my daughter in the Nigerian Flying School Zaria? Send me an email to follow up with her guidance. Evangelist Etowa, PhD, Cross River State. Okay, again, good morning to my beautiful mother and sisters out there. Whoa, Benita, you are indeed great. I am Paul, texting from Taraba. Mupo base. He's a Mupo man. Okay, a flyer and a Mupo. Okay. Good morning, my beautiful people. I have two questions for Benita, the pilot. What is the rate of hazards involved in flying? Can a poor man be a pilot? Okay, that is a question for you. Good morning, Weekend Day crew. Your program is really inspiring and educative. Please keep it up. Nigeria is really blessed. Women are naturally skilled, as you know. The only problem is that only few are discovered. I wish this program is watched by many women. Eru Wilson Makodi. The final one, there are too many, let me just say this final one. I am Nena from Enugu. I just wanted to say I'm super happy and proud that our ladies are no longer being held back by societal expectations, but breaking ground instead. The females are worth a whole lot, are worth a whole more than they give us credit for. Please do keep it up. I am so proud. I love you, Benita. You look gorgeous. I wish to meet you, and I would like to be your pet daughter.
Yeah.
On that note, I will just let the messages rest a bit, but hundreds of messages are coming in for ladies. That's what we're doing. NTA, we inspire. And then we'll be going to Kano. Kano is just waiting to inspire more ladies. Kano, take it away.
Sometimes the distinction we make between the jobs we believe only men can do are nothing but limitations and restrictions we put on the path of women progress. In our society today, there are certain jobs and businesses that are distinctly considered as men's job. Commercial tricycle, otherwise known as a daidaita sahu here in Kano, is one of such businesses. However, a married young woman with 2 children, Mary Samuel, is apparently challenging this trend, breaking the barriers, taking full advantage of the business to better her own life.
The economic is not really friendly to everyone. We are all in the country and we know what we are facing. So when I saw the opportunity, I decided to tell myself that this thing, I can do it. Many works now, many jobs now, you don't get to have the time and the resource you get on this. So I told myself I can do this. That is what motivates me doing this. When we started, I have this routine. If I go to my office, I pick the keke. I go to the Wanda bus stop, to Bata, and I pick from Bata to Jaba. I took from Bata to Zoo Road. I took to Enkaba too.
It wasn't an easy decision at the beginning, but with the support and encouragement from her husband and loved ones, she said, I can do it.
At the beginning, he's saying, can you really do it? Don't go and start and you'll be shy. If people see you, say, I cannot do it. But I told him, no, I can do it. And he encouraged me, if I can do it, I should push hard, that he knows one day it will be well.
Sometimes I do pass and see her on the road. I will like, hi, my friend. I feel so happy. Some of my friends will tell me, I saw that your friend. I would like her. We're very proud of her.
Well, all these are coming, but not without some attendant challenges.
Being children in school, you have works to do at home. Sometimes you'll be driving, after you are tired, you come back home and face home. I think that's the challenge we are facing, but I know we'll overcome that.
There is no doubt the income she generates from this business, big or small, will go a long way in meeting up some of her domestic demands.
When we are talking about domestic and you get to leave everything for your husband, you see things getting difficult. There are things that you want to do. Maybe you want to assist parents. Maybe you want to assist even your husband at home. You see sometimes you don't have anything. You feel bad that you cannot assist. But doing this, I've been able to assist in one way or the other. Even if it's little, you assist, then you see your home is being growing to another level.
Oh, God.
Woo! Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That song just resonated with what we are saying. Keep your dreams alive, everyone. Keep your dreams alive. So, Benita, just so many messages for you. How do you cope with fear? How do you deal with the fact that anything happens, it's a done deal? What are the hazards involved? Can a poor man be a pilot? So many people's daughter, there's a particular message from Dr. Mrs. She said, I'm coming 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. She said, please listen to this. I am Dr. Ola Jumoke, proud mother of 2 amazing girls, 14 and 11. My older daughter has always dreamt of flying, and I have been her biggest cheerleader until the recent crash in Korea took me to my core. Fear crept in, and I found myself pleading with her to reconsider. But I truly believe God wanted me to watch this particular episode to correct me and to strengthen me. Well done, ladies. You have reignited my courage and reminded me of the power of dreams. Nigeria is proud of you both. I will take corrections and continue to support my daughter, her dreams of flying. Okay, so Benita is leaving us. Can you please respond to all this before you leave us, please?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you so much once again. Well, when it comes to fear and the hazards that comes with flying, it's already something that we know. Before you choose a career, although mine came when I was young, but growing up, I got to know that this is a risky career, in quote. But I believe that if it's your passion, fear shouldn't cripple you. Fear is something that people tend to allow get a better side of them. If you allow your fear take control, you would hardly ever achieve what you really want to. You hardly ever, achieve things that you want to do, especially when they have their risk involved. But as pilots, as professionals, we are trained to handle this risk that comes with the profession. We don't just go into the cockpit and fly, and when these things happen, we don't know what to do. When we go there's something we call a recurrent training. We go for it every 6 months. And in these trainings, that is when we get to practice different types of hazards that come with flying. We practice different types of emergencies. We have emergencies where you can have an engine flame out, an engine fire in the cabin, different types of emergencies. Sometimes natural, where you have bird strikes and everything.
We heard of those birds.
Yes, bird strikes, exactly. It's almost like you're, it's like you're in their
territory.
And they feel threatened sometimes. And you know how planes are designed to look like birds.
Yes.
So they feel threatened. That's why they come in like a large number, basically, because in their heads they have to defend their territory.
So the birds will always be there.
Birds will always be there, but these bird strikes don't happen frequently. But we're trained to handle these things. We have weather conditions, wind shear, things like that, where we are trained to handle. So we have different types of trainings that prepare us for emergencies, for these hazards. We we are always trained every 6 months for this. So it's
but
more
in
like
spite
we're-
of that, it's not like the real thing.
It's not like the real
But you are
thing.
saying apprehension will come. It's
Exactly,
normal.
it's
But
normal.
in spite of that,
don't dull. Go pursue your dreams. Do it, and just believe that you're going to retire
be
when
fine.
the time is right. You'll
Yeah.
be fine.
fine.
Like
Yes,
Benita
you'll be
said,
fine.
once she's 40, she's going to leave this thing and then do something else. And I
And do
like how
something
she
else.
said, once I am 40, I am leaving this. Benita, thank you so much
Thank you
for
so
inspiring
much.
millions of Nigerian girls.
Thank
Yeah, it's my hope that someday we'll be privileged to be in a jet and
Where
have
you fly us.
and other female pilots, fly us somewhere. In fact, we're rooting for that. Let's give it up for Benita.
Benita, we love you. Thank you so much.
so much.
Benita has to go because she has a flight.
Okay.
She has a
Okay.
flight to catch, but while she's
so
catching
for
her
now,
flight,
we'll go
let's
to Owerri, another place we'll be touching down in. Yeah, on
Yeah,
the show.
let's do this.
Let's go there.
Thank you.
The popular saying, what a man can do, a woman can do it better, is not just a mere expression. Rather, it is a fact in this present world where many women are venturing into tough jobs and professions. Nigerian women are not left out in breaking the glass ceiling in men's-dominated jobs and professions, as they do not just do their work with ease, but are also highly proficient.
This is what I love doing. I have done this for years now. This is my profession. I know how to do it, and I'm doing it very well.
Every profession has its peculiarities, so also these women are faced with different challenges in these fields, mostly dominated by men.
Maybe because you're a woman, they doubt that that you cannot do the job maybe the way they want you to do it. They want a man to do it. And again, trying to convince your customers. By telling them that I can do this. You understand? Sometimes it's more challenging, because you have to talk to convince the person. And another part of the challenge is, the materials, sorting out materials.
The challenges I get is by, as a female, touching a male, so many conversations coming. But how I do conquer that part is that I don't dress to always attract such conversation. I just dress simple and casual.
Though not deterred by the challenges of these jobs or allow the physical and emotional effects on their jobs to wear them down, rather the zeal to succeed and be successful are their driving points.
My husband started this company, this Pamsi Furniture. So, and he made sure that I'm part of the business. But unfortunately, I lost him on. Since then, I have no other option than to carry on with the business, if not for anything, for the children. You understand? So I'll be able to, still take care of them and feed them, pay their fees, all that come from this particular business. So I put on my passion. Everything now is in this business.
The vulnerability of women to the opposite sex tends to expose these women to gender discrimination and bias by their male counterparts, as well as harassment by thugs, lack of female-friendly infrastructure, and safety in such men's world.
When it comes to my colleague, I get encouraged. But when it comes to the customer aspects, 50% looks embarrassing by looking at me like I can't do it. For the first time they are here, they haven't seen me barb. But the ones I've barbed has encouraged me so far in the field. So by coming back again and by referring me, which shows that I'm good. If I'm not good, they won't refer me.
Sometimes it's not all the men that used to like women to work until they are very. Sometimes they will come, say that I should work. So if I deliver the work, they will come, they will bring more customers to me.
Seeing these exceptional women doggedly sourcing their means of livelihood in men-dominated jobs and professions, one cannot but join them in reading aloud the testament they make. It says, there are needs for accelerated actions towards gender equality in workspaces. The time for those actions is now.
This was how it was. Osime, Victor, the great, on the way to becoming the greatest. You know, without being biased, if at 24, 25 is already doing what Ronaldo and Co. doing in their 30s, it's obviously going to do amazing things.
Yes. And then
Tosin. You know, we're thinking you went from potato system to something that is worthy to craft and earn through.
Yes.
Young people are watching you now. I want to learn 3D. What should they do? What should they look forward to? How do they breeze through the obstacles?
Okay, I would make it simple by just saying a bit of my journey. So like she said, or like I said initially, I had a potato laptop. So what I did, a friend of mine had someone who was already in the industry, and then he connected me, so he was the one that gave me guides. This is what to do, and we were doing that via the phone and through the internet because we were in different geographical locations. But most of my learning came from YouTube. So there's this popular channel, Andrew Price, or for those who would want to go through this path, you can search for the donut tutorial. So it's more like a rite of passage for people who want to learn 3D, specifically people who want to use Blender. That was the software I started. In fact, I'm still using it because it is free, it is open source. So if I was to do animation many years back, it would have been difficult because the softwares available were very expensive. But then came Blender, and then now there is AI, so no one have an excuse to not go into this venture, and AI would get better. So that's it for me. I went online. I was watching YouTube videos, and then I started creating my own designs, and then I put it up online. So that's one thing. You learn and then you create.
All right, thank you. Don't have so much time, but quickly, yes or no? Is animation 3D paying the bills? Is it paying the bills?
It is. That's major thing I do.
Okay, let's do it. I mean, it's paying the bills. She's looking up.
Yeah, it sounds 3D animation. It sounds like something that will pay big bills.
Goodness. What is it? Okay. All right, I've been advised to stick to my broadcasting by Hajia Binta a long time ago, and I'm going to stick to broadcasting, but I'm tempted. It's all about women breaking the glass ceiling and showing the world that talent, creativity, and hard work is not gender sensitive. That's our show for today. Thank you so much. Thelma, in closing, say something. I mean, it's been crazy in here.
I want to thank from Chere Kalu, who opened the door for pilots.
Yes.
I want to thank you, especially Tosi and Benita, for telling young ladies that age is nothing but a number. And even those who are above 40, get started on your dream today. Women in Nigeria, on the corner in the world, it is possible to do anything you set your mind to. So let's get started.
Let's get started. Tosin, Dari, give us, celebrate us. So we are worthy of the celebration now. Waiting. Hey.
If you know